Top 3. Best berries to naturally lower creatinine and flush toxins from kidneys. Have you ever had a routine blood test come back, and your doctor mentions your creatinine is a little high? Maybe you felt fine, but that one number suddenly had you worried. You started wondering what your kidneys are actually doing, whether something is quietly going wrong, and what you can do about it without just waiting for the next test. Here is something most people never get told. 3 simple berries, ones you can find in any supermarket, may help support your kidneys, lower creatinine naturally, and help your body flush out the waste it has been holding on to. Stay with me, because today we are covering exactly which berries these are, why they work, and how to use them starting today. Let's start with a berry that most people already have in their fridge or freezer without even realizing how powerful it is for kidney health. Blueberries. Now, before you think this is just another generic health tip, stick with me here, because what makes blueberries stand out for your kidneys specifically goes a lot deeper than most people realize. Your kidneys are working every single hour of every day. Their job is to filter your blood, pull out waste products, and send them out of your body through urine. When the kidneys are under stress, whether from poor diet, dehydration, inflammation, or just the general wear of daily life, they start to struggle. Waste builds up. Creatinine, which is a natural byproduct your muscles produce, starts to rise in the blood because the kidneys are not clearing it as efficiently as they should. This is where blueberries come in. Blueberries are packed with something called antioxidants, and you have probably heard that word 100 times, but in simple terms, antioxidants are like a cleanup crew inside your body. They go after the damage caused by inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 things that are known to wear down kidney function over time. When that internal damage is reduced, your kidneys are not working as hard just to keep up. They can focus on doing their actual job, which is filtering and flushing. One of the things that makes blueberries particularly well-suited for people with kidney concerns is that they are naturally low in potassium and phosphorus. This matters because when the kidneys are struggling, they often have trouble managing high levels of these minerals. Many fruits that are great for general health are actually too high in potassium for someone trying to protect their kidneys. Blueberries sit comfortably in the safe zone, which is why they come up again and again in conversations about kidney-friendly eating. There is also research suggesting that the natural compounds in blueberries can help reduce inflammation in the kidney tissue itself. Less inflammation means less strain. Less strain means the kidneys can filter more effectively. And when filtering improves, creatinine levels have a better chance of coming down gradually over time. Now let's talk about how to actually use them, because information without application does not get anyone very far. A reasonable daily amount for most adults is around half a cup to a full cup of blueberries. That is roughly a small handful to a generous handful. You do not need to overthink it. Fresh blueberries are great when they are in season. Frozen blueberries are just as good nutritionally and often more affordable, which makes them easy to keep stocked all year round. You can add them to porridge in the morning, blend them into a smoothie, or simply eat them as a snack on their own. They are genuinely one of the easiest foods to work into a daily routine without any real effort or disruption to how you already eat. One thing to be mindful of is portion size if you are someone who has been advised to monitor your sugar intake. Blueberries are a natural fruit, so the sugar is not the same as processed sugar, but balance still matters. A cup a day as part of a varied diet is a sensible, realistic place to start. Small, consistent steps are what actually move the needle with kidney health, and blueberries are one of the simplest first steps you can take. Now that we have covered the first berry, the next one on this list works in a slightly different way, and it may actually surprise you. Before we get into exactly how to use these berries day to day, I want to hear from you. Are you watching this because your creatinine came back high and your doctor left you with more questions than answers? Or maybe you have been feeling off for a while and you are quietly trying to figure out what your kidneys are telling you. Either way, you are in the right place. Drop a comment and let me know where you are on this journey. I read them. If you want to keep getting clear, honest guidance on supporting your kidney health naturally, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. No fluff, no scare tactics, just real information you can actually use. And if what you are learning right now is already starting to make sense to you, type the word berries in the comments. It tells me this kind of content is genuinely helping. So blueberries bring antioxidant power and gentle anti-inflammatory support to the kidneys. The second berry on this list takes a different approach entirely, and it is one that has been trusted for generations for good reason. Cranberries. You have probably heard of cranberries in connection with urinary health, and that reputation is well earned. But what most people do not realize is that the benefits go well beyond just the bladder. When your urinary system is functioning cleanly and freely, your kidneys get to do their job without unnecessary interference. That connection is exactly why cranberries belong in this conversation. Here is what is happening inside your body when things are not quite right. Bacteria and waste can build up along the urinary tract, creating a kind of blockage in the system. When waste cannot move through freely, pressure builds back up toward the kidneys. Over time, this adds to the burden your kidneys are already carrying. Creatinine rises. The body holds on to things it should be releasing. You might feel sluggish, puffy, or just not quite yourself and not always know why. Cranberries contain natural compounds that make it harder for bacteria and unwanted particles to stick to the walls of the urinary tract. Think of it like keeping the pipes clear so everything flows the way it should. When the urinary tract is cleaner and less congested, the kidneys can push waste out more efficiently. That improved flow is one of the reasons cranberries are consistently linked to better kidney function and lower toxic load in the body. They are also a good source of antioxidants, though in a different profile to blueberries. Where blueberries focus heavily on reducing inflammation in the tissue itself, cranberries bring a more targeted kind of protection that runs through the entire urinary system from the kidneys downward. Together they cover different angles, which is part of why having more than one berry in your routine makes a real difference rather than just doubling up on the same benefits. Another thing worth knowing is that cranberries are low in potassium, which, as we covered with blueberries, is an important factor for anyone paying attention to kidney health. They fit comfortably into a kidney-friendly approach to eating without adding extra strain. Now, how do you actually use them day to day? This is where a lot of people get tripped up. Whole cranberries, whether fresh or frozen, are your best option. They are genuinely tart on their own, so mixing them into a smoothie with something naturally sweet like a banana or a handful of blueberries works really well and makes them far easier to enjoy. You can also cook them down gently with a little water and a small amount of natural sweetener to make a simple sauce that works alongside meals. Cranberry juice is something to approach carefully. Most cranberry juice products on supermarket shelves are loaded with added sugar, which works against what you are trying to do for your kidneys. If you go the juice route, look for pure, unsweetened cranberry juice and dilute it with water. A small glass a few times a week is plenty. Half a cup of whole cranberries daily or a small glass of unsweetened cranberry juice a few times a week is a realistic and sustainable amount for most adults. Consistency is what makes the difference here. A handful a few times a week will not transform your health overnight, but woven into a daily routine alongside other supportive choices, the benefits build up steadily over time. If what you have learned today has given you even one thing you can act on, one small change you feel ready to make for your kidneys, please take a second and hit the like button. It costs you nothing, but what it does is tell the platform that this kind of honest, practical content is worth putting in front of more people. Right now, someone else is sitting with a blood test result they do not fully understand, feeling worried and not knowing where to start. Your like is what helps this video find them. That one small action could be the moment their health journey starts to shift. Please do not underestimate that. The third berry coming up next is one that often gets overlooked. And that is honestly a shame, because what it does for kidney detoxification is genuinely worth knowing about. Cranberries work through the urinary tract to keep the system clear and flowing. The third berry on this list takes yet another direction, and it is one that quietly does some of the most important work of all when it comes to protecting kidney function from the inside out: strawberries. They are one of the most familiar fruits in any household, sitting in supermarkets all year round, affordable, easy to eat, and genuinely enjoyed by most people. Yet very few people connect strawberries to kidney health, and that is exactly why they deserve a proper spotlight here. To understand why strawberries matter for the kidneys, it helps to understand one of the biggest hidden threats to kidney function that rarely gets talked about plainly: chronic low-grade inflammation. This is not the kind of inflammation you feel after twisting your ankle. This is the slow, silent kind that builds up over months and years inside the body, quietly wearing down the tissue and function of organs, including the kidneys. It is one of the leading reasons kidney function declines gradually in adults, often without any obvious symptoms until the damage is already done. Strawberries are rich in natural compounds that directly target this kind of inflammation. They carry a particular type of antioxidant that has been shown to reduce inflammatory signals in the body, helping to ease the pressure on kidney tissue over time. When that internal inflammation is calmed down, the kidneys are better able to filter blood properly, clear creatinine, and remove the waste products that would otherwise accumulate and cause further harm. What also sets strawberries apart from many other fruits is their water content. Strawberries are made up of a significant amount of water, which means eating them contributes to your overall hydration throughout the day. Hydration is one of the most straightforward and powerful tools for kidney health. When the body is well hydrated, the kidneys can flush toxins far more effectively. Every time you eat a bowl of strawberries, you are not just getting the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. You are also giving your kidneys the fluid support they need to keep things moving. They are also low in potassium and phosphorus, keeping them well within the kidney-friendly range, just like the previous two berries on this list. This consistency matters because it means you can combine all three without worrying about tipping the balance in the wrong direction. In terms of practical use, strawberries are genuinely one of the most flexible fruits to work into daily life. A cup of fresh strawberries as a morning snack, sliced over porridge, blended into a smoothie alongside cranberries and blueberries, or simply eaten on their own in the afternoon. Fresh or frozen, both work well. Frozen strawberries in particular are worth keeping in the freezer because they are available all year, tend to be less expensive, and hold on to their nutritional value well. A reasonable daily amount is around 1 cup, which is roughly 8 to 10 medium-sized strawberries. That is enough to make a meaningful contribution to your kidney health without overdoing it. One thing to be aware of is that strawberries are sometimes on the higher end for natural sugars compared to the other two berries covered today. Still well within what is considered reasonable for most adults. But if you have been advised to watch your blood sugar levels, keeping to that 1 cup portion is a sensible approach. What you now have is a complete picture. 3 berries, 3 different mechanisms, all working in the same direction. Blueberries reduce inflammation in the kidney tissue itself. Cranberries keep the urinary tract clear so waste can exit freely. Strawberries calming the deeper, slower inflammation that silently chips away at kidney function over time. Together, they are not just a list of healthy foods. They are a practical, natural toolkit that fits into real everyday life without complicated changes or expensive supplements. Coming up in the final section, we are going to bring all of this together and talk about how to actually make this work as a sustainable habit, not just something you try for a week and forget about. 3 berries, 3 different ways of supporting the same goal, and all of them sitting quietly in supermarkets, waiting to be taken seriously. Let's take a moment to bring everything together, because when you see the full picture laid out simply, it becomes a lot easier to actually act on it rather than just filing it away as interesting information you once watched a video about. Blueberries work at the level of the kidney tissue itself. Their antioxidants reduce the inflammation that quietly wears down how well your kidneys filter your blood. When that filtering improves, creatinine has a clearer path out of the body rather than building up in the bloodstream. Cranberries work through the urinary tract, keeping the system clear of the kind of buildup that creates resistance and sends pressure back toward the kidneys. A cleaner pathway means more efficient waste removal, and more efficient waste removal means less strain on kidneys that may already be working harder than they should. Strawberries address the slower, deeper kind of inflammation, the kind that does not announce itself, but gradually chips away at kidney function over years. Their water content also supports the one thing that ties all of this together, which is hydration. And that brings up something worth saying directly. None of these berries work in isolation from the rest of your daily habits. The kidneys need water to do their job, not sugary drinks, not excessive caffeine, just plain water consistently throughout the day. Most adults in the UK and USA are mildly dehydrated more often than they realize, and that alone puts a quiet but steady strain on kidney function. Aiming for around 6 to 8 glasses of water a day alongside these berries gives your kidneys the best possible environment to actually use the support you are giving them. It is also worth saying that none of this is about perfection. You do not need to eat all 3 berries every single day without fail. You do not need to overhaul your entire diet overnight or start buying things you have never heard of. What actually works, and what the research consistently points toward, is small, realistic changes made consistently over time. A handful of blueberries in the morning, a small glass of unsweetened cranberry juice a few times a week, a cup of strawberries as an afternoon snack. These are not dramatic gestures. They are quiet, steady choices that add up to something meaningful over weeks and months. One more thing that genuinely matters here. If your creatinine levels have been flagged by a doctor, or if you have a known kidney condition, please do not rely on berries alone as your plan. Natural foods are a powerful supporting layer, but they work best alongside proper medical guidance. Booking a follow-up with your doctor, keeping track of your levels, and staying informed are all part of taking your kidney health seriously. Think of what you have learned today as something you bring to that conversation, not something you use instead of it. Your kidneys have been working for you every single day without asking for much in return. A few small changes in what you eat and how well you hydrate is a genuinely reasonable way to start giving something back. If this video gave you something useful, something you can actually take away and use, it would mean a lot if you gave it a like. It genuinely helps this kind of content reach more people who are looking for the same straightforward, honest guidance you just watched. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you want more videos on natural ways to support your kidney health, subscribing keeps you connected every time something new goes up. Take care of yourself. Your kidneys are worth it.